In today's BTG episode, Nicole reminds Anita to attend her doctor's appointments. Derek's friends help him move out, and Eva begs Jan to help get between her mom and Ted. Andre was baffled when Donnie suddenly called their modeling trip off, and Kat told Ted she will never accept Eva. At the hospital, the nurses are fawning over Anita as Nicole watches. Anita tells her daughter she is not the reason she's there. They go into Nicole's office and Anita explains she's there for her physical. They talk about the importance of her yearly tests. They chat about how helpful Laura has been, especially for the Winterfest planning. Anita tells her about the light show they will have. Nicole reminds her to get her physical. Vernon meets with Sharon at Uptown and she tells him he's looking fine. He says they can't let their meetings get back to Anita. She points out some woman in a pantsuit keeps eyeing them. Vernon says she's an old work acquaintance and doesn't know Anita. She asks him to her hotel room. He says he will be missed. She pulls out the cufflinks he left on the dresser. They arrange to meet tomorrow. At the club, Leslie talks about how she, Ted, and Eva are quite a trio, and brags to Jan about funding the new sports complex. Dud is intrigued as Leslie tells him that she plays basketball. They talk about the Harlem Globetrotters. Eva has no idea what they are discussing. Jan notices the time and exits with Eva trailing after her, begging her to stay and be a buffer between her parents. John tells her that Leslie won't be able to make any inroads as long as Ted resists. She takes off. Eva returns to her parents as they talk about the NAACP. Leslie brings up Winterfest and how to help. Ted wouldn't miss it. That sounds lovely to Leslie. Once Ted leaves the ladies alone, they argue about Leslie getting involved. Leslie thinks everyone hates her because she's new money. Eva points out they are all new money, and they hate her because she's tearing down a classic home. Her mom makes it clear she wants to be involved in Winterfest to stick it to the Duprees. Her mama tells her that social standing works there just like in the old neighborhood. You're either a peacock or nothing. Ted goes to Nicole's office and tells her he wants to bring Eva to Winterfest. She urges him to think of how Kat will respond. He says he's been trying to calm Kat down, but she needs to learn he has another daughter and he loves her too. Nicole thinks Eva should be thankful. She has a sane parent. Vernon heads home and Anita notices he smells like perfume. He makes an excuse and she says she doesn't like her man having another woman's scent on him. She notices he's wearing his cufflinks again. Kat runs into Smitty. She thinks of avoiding him, but he stops her so they can talk about Martin. She hopes he can get an apology out of him for talking crazy. She complains he always sees the worst in her. Martin has always blown up over nothing and refuses to apologize. Tomas always jumps to conclusions about her too and is trying to get her to make peace with Eva. They talk about taking ownership for things and she leaves. Two firefighters, Liam and Cheryl, stop by Ashley's to help Derek move his stuff out. They fill Liam's truck and he leaves. She stays behind to tell Derek he is strong and doesn't have to get through this alone. They kiss Dad as they make out on the couch. He says they can't do this in Ashley's apartment. She asks if he still loves her. He does. He knows Ashley doesn't want him, but she was the best thing to happen to him. Cheryl gets it and hopes Ashley realizes what she gave up. Naomi stops by the hospital to give Ashley Derek's key. She explains he's moving his stuff out and she needs to stop feeling sorry for him. Ashley talks about how she wasn't perfect either, but needs to stick to her guns. Shanice commends her on that. Naomi points out that Derek will be there for PT and it will be awkward. She suggests she'll take lunch when he comes or play too busy to talk. Shanice orders Ashley to take lunch. At the airport, Andre asks Donnie why she canceled the photo shoot. She says, Ridge was very understanding. Her husband doesn't understand this. She could see from his eyes in the selfie. He sent that doing the shoot is the last thing he wanted. She's been worried about him mentioning that there is a risk in this. He says that makes no sense. When she demands to know what is really going on, he explains that Pamela talked him into doing this. He says that when you have it, but he's sure he would stick out like a camel in a zebra family. He was worried the campaign would fall flat and she would get the blame. He cares about her too much to hurt her. That's why he was reluctant. He says they should still do the shoot. She insists the trip is off. If he can sacrifice for her, she can sacrifice for him too. Donnie calls Pamela and tells her the shoot is off. Pamela tries to talk her out of it, but fails. Turning to Andre, she reminds him they need to play their honeymoon. They ponder where to go. She's not allowed back in most countries, she points out. They already have everything booked for LA, so they decide to go there. Hooked on Beyond the Gates. Join our official Beyond the Gates Facebook group. Get spoilers, recaps, theories, and fan talk all in one place.